What's up? This is El Presidente. We're hanging out at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club here, Point Pleasant, New Jersey, with one of my favorite comics, Jim Florentine. Killer set, man.
Thanks, man. They were fun, man. I was, you never know.
Yeah.
And I'm always trying to work out some new shit, so, and just, I just love getting up there and performing, man. It's fucking fun. Just saying what's on your mind and getting paid and not listening to anybody and being your own boss. It's a great gig. It's a great gig, yeah. And just, when people in comedy clubs really aren't that offended by whatever the media says everybody is offended by, they're really not the people that come out to shows. So it's not like, oh, we can't say this anymore, can't say that anymore on stage or anything. So
yeah. When you go to like Manhattan and stuff, I know you do like sets at the Stand and everything like that. Is it a little bit dicier with the crowd?
Not really. I mean, they seem like they're totally into it too.
Yeah.
The same thing. I just go, hey, look, if they're just trying like this, the way this guy is. I don't know. I don't kiss the audience's ass. And I think maybe if they get like 3 or 4 people in a row in New York kissing their ass, it's kind of refreshing to a guy go up there and just go, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so this is a heavy metal show. I was wondering, you went to see Ted Nugent last week, right?
Yeah.
What's the best concert you've seen so far in the last year or so?
Well, I'm missing Aerosmith tonight in Atlantic City.
Oh, shit.
They're doing a residency there to do it tonight and Sunday, which I'm annoyed at because I hear the set list is great.
Yeah.
Look, Ted was great. I love seeing him. I like seeing all these acts before they die off, basically, or just can't play anymore.
Yeah.
So you never know. So, I'm going to see Slipknot at the end of the month. I love those guys.
Yeah. PNC Bank?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We'll hang in the parking lot.
Nice.
Get drunk.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to see Skinner one more time. I always like Skinner.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm going to go see them one more time. But I don't know. Who I saw, which I never saw before, and I want to do like these dinosaur acts, is Bob Seger.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
I saw him. I'd never seen him before, and he was great. Yeah. I saw Elton John his past tour.
Me too.
I've never seen him. Yeah. He was good. I like Seeger better, but I saw the Stones at MetLife Stadium.
Yeah, how was
and I'm
that?
going to go see them next week in LA. They were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Mark Maron has a great fucking bit about the Stones in his last Netflix special.
I remember him doing it on stage at the Comedy Store working it out.
Yeah.
I forget how it went, but I just remember, yeah.
It was just about how he kind of like was more excited about getting out of the concert early and beating the traffic and shit. Like
right.
Hearing he was dragging his buddy out of the show. He's like, they're doing, Sympathy for the Devil or something. He's like, we can hear it. We're almost out there.
That's funny, yeah.
I kind of feel the same way going to so many fucking shows. Like, I like getting in and out like a fucking secret agent.
No, I know. Well, that's what they said. Like, at a MetLife Stadium, 80,000 people.
Exactly.
They had people saying it was a nightmare to get home. We got right out and we jumped in an Uber. Meanwhile, they charged $250. Because it's better to just take a cab at this point.
Wait, the Uber charge?
Yeah, because it was a surcharge.
Oh my God!
It cost $60 to get there and $250 on the way home.
Get the fuck.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem legal.
No, but it's like, they got you by the balls, because if you didn't drive, how was you going to get home?
Yeah.
But anyway, but it was phenomenal. I'm going to go see him one more time in California next week when I'm out there.
You're a big Stones guy?
No, I like the Stones a lot better than the Beatles.
Yeah.
It's definitely more Stones. My older brothers got me into metal, so they were into the Stones, not so much the Beatles. So, but just seeing them, just every chord, and just Keith up there and Mick still doing it at 76. And stuff.
That was another part of the Maron bit. He was like, I was just nervous the whole time. He's like, because Mick is running around. He's like, if he trips and falls, he's going to break a fucking hip. That's it. It's over.
Yeah, I know, because you don't know. Like if someone, if Keith dies tomorrow or somebody, or Ron Wood, the band might be over. That's it. So.
God bless him, though.
Yeah, I know. It's great. So they put on a great show. So.
You know who I saw earlier this year that I wasn't even going to go see, but they're playing at the local bar near my house? Nashville Pussy. You ever check them out?
I just was listening to them on the way to here on the show tonight. I love those guys.
I heard songs like here and there throughout the years, but wow, what a fucking show. The guy's chugging a beer out of his fucking cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And that chick, the guitar player, Russ. Or,
Ryder. She's like the female Angus Young.
Oh my God.
On stage.
Unbelievable. Like Slash, Angus, all rolled into.
No, I saw they're a great live band. They got a bunch of records out, whatever, but live, they're great. I saw Nashville Pussy. It was Speed Dealer, Nashville Pussy and Motorhead at the Birch Hill before it closed.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable, yeah.
I used to love the Birch Hill.
Yeah, Birch Hill was great. I used to work there years ago as a heavy metal DJ.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, on Friday nights it was
know
heavy metal nights. So I saw a ton of shows there.
Oh, that's amazing.
But Nashville Pussy's great. Don Jameson's going on tour with them.
Is he?
In the fall, yeah. He's doing stand-up, yeah.
Yeah, he loves going on tour with bands.
Yeah, he's out with Zach right now doing that Zach Sabbath thing, the Black Sabbath tribute, yeah.
That's right. Well, I wanted to ask you because, you worked on that metal show, obviously. And I wanted to do a countdown tonight of the funniest guys in metal, like band guys in metal. Because, I don't know, like interviewing Odorous Urungus, Dave Brocky.
Yeah.
Over the years, he was one of the funniest motherfuckers I ever met. Also, I don't know if you ever heard of Murphy's Law.
Yeah.
Jimmy G, he's a funny guy. Just based on the people you met interviewing from that metal show, going to shows, I'm sure you've gotten to meet a lot of musicians. Off the top of your head, who do you think are some of the funniest guys?
Well, Ted Nugent's hilarious.
Yeah.
Ted Nugent's great. I remember I went backstage after the show last week, and he goes, I go, Don Jameson said hi. He goes, I thought I'd be at the show with you. I go, no. I go, he's actually on tour with Black Label side, Zach Wild. He goes, so he's on tour and he's working and he's making money. He must be a Republican. And it was just so funny. So anyway, but Ted's hilarious. Lemmy was really funny. Lemmy was more like a one-liner guy.
Okay.
So he was just like the sarcastic. Lemmy Ozzy, like if you have a talk with him in so many interviews, he's always really funny.
Yeah.
When he used to go on Howard Stern back in the day. David Lee Roth was always funny if you get, sometimes he would go on too long or whatever. But he, when I was a kid and he used to be on those talk shows, he was always, I was like, man, this fucking guy's hilarious.
He was good on Rogan recently. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, he's, we had him on Opie and Anthony one time. It was just me, Jim Norton, and those guys were out. It was me, Jim Norton, and David Lee Roth the whole show. And Dave was just normal. We're talking about him, the groupies and all that stuff, and all the Van Halen stuff. So he was always funny. And Dee Snider was always funny on stage from Twisted Sister. Corey Taylor's kind of funny too.
Yeah.
He's a goofball. He doesn't take himself too serious, even though he's in Slipknot.
No, I haven't seen Slipknot in so long, so I'm definitely looking forward to that show.
Oh man,
in a couple weeks.
They're amazing. I love those guys. I've seen them like 15 times. The new album's great.
Yeah.
So damn heavy.
Were you a part of that roast of Corey Taylor?
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, no
at
shit.
the Rock on the Range. Yeah, the night before. Yeah, we did roast of Corey Taylor. Yeah.
I know the clown got really pissed off at Brian Posehn, I think.
Yeah, because Brian made a joke about Paul.
The guy died, yeah.
Paul Gray dying. So he,
Yeah, that's...
Sometimes, Sebastian got mad at Don Jameson because Don said some joke about him, and Sebastian threw a cup of coffee and hit Don when he was at the dais.
Really? Are you kidding?
Yeah, he was mad. Yeah, he was mad. When you do those roasts, you never know, man, what's coming, man. It's just like, and people don't realize. Duff got mad at me one time because I did a Zach Wild roast, and he got mad because we were just pounding him. Duff's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't, he's not vicious like that. He doesn't go for the kill. So he was mad at me for a while. He said, "What the fuck, you guys, man?"
What was the joke? Do you remember?
I just said, when you hear one of the guys from Guns N' Roses is going to be here, and you find out it's Duff, it's almost like turning on the Three Stooges and seeing Shemp. It's a funny joke.
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
I know, but he's just like, So yeah, he was. But some people just can't take. Like some people just aren't built for roasts.
That's the thing. I guess other comics, they understand what's coming. But if you're just kind of throwing rock stars into that,
I think because somebody canceled the last minute, so Duff said, "All right, I'll take his place." Right. And I know with comics, sometimes they can't be on roast because they get offended. I'm like, whatever. Then don't. It's not for you. I don't care. I don't give a shit what anybody says about me. I don't care. I'm like, I want to get up there and do it. I can't wait. So I don't take this stuff personally. I'm like, I'm the ball buster. So
you got to have a thick skin to be a comic. I mean,
and then it's just like whatever. I mean, come on, we're just fucking around, Like you watch those old roasts, like Dean Martin and stuff like that. All those guys on there, fucking drinking, smoking, cracking jokes. It was great, man. That's what it should be.
Definitely. I saw something just to change topics real quick. So the guy before you was kind of like real intense on the mic, right?
Right.
So, and I just saw Agnostic Front, and the guy before he went up and sung into the mic, he sprayed like, I don't know if it was like an antiseptic or some kind of like Banaka or whatever. So Have you ever seen that, like in your line of work? Because you're using a lot of microphones that other people are using. You ever get like germophobic?
No, I don't
like
care.
that?
I'm like, look, whatever. You shake hands after a show. It's like, whatever. There's germs. What are you gonna do? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, if some guy's coughing or sneezing in the mic, he's got the flu backstage, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta use that mic. After that. But other than that, I'm like, I can't. I can't worry about it. There's a million people touching the mic. I don't know if they might spray it down before tomorrow's show. So I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not licking it, so by the time I get up there, the germs are probably gone.
Right.
But
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. We had this mic at the radio station, and I was there for about 18 years, and that grill on the mic was never changed, and there was shit growing in there.
yeah, that's nasty. Yeah, I mean, I could see some bringing their own filter in and putting it on or whatever, but I don't know. I try not to overthink that shit too much.
I got to ask you, because you always bring it up in your stand-up. How's your son, Luke?
He's great. He was going to come tonight, but then he's like, oh man, he's hanging with his cousins. He's like, I want to hang, because we were just on vacation. So,
I know.
But then it's also late. Like this place is, they start showing 9:30, so he doesn't go on like 10 after 10. So it's, he's still 8. So it's. Yeah. But no, he's been great. He can't wait to get. He hasn't done a set in a while.
Is he still into music and comedy too? Yeah.
Yeah, he's taking music lesson. Been doing it for like 4.5 years. One of on my stand-up special, like at the house, he does over his credits at the end. His original song, Evil Pumpkin. Yeah, yeah, and he did that when he was like 5.5 years old. He's 8 now. That's been recorded for a while.
Yeah.
He wrote those lyrics and everything, because he said he goes down. I had a dream that this pumpkin was chasing me and my friends to the woods. I go, so write a song about it.
Nice.
So he called it Evil Pumpkin. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering, because how I have a 3.5-year-old. We have a 3.5-year-old. And he's kind of like into one thing 1 minute, and then in the next minute he's into this. But,
well, the thing is, how I got my son to music is that when he's in the back seat in his car seat, he has nothing. He has no choice but to listen to music you put on. My dad did it to me, but he wasn't in the metal. He was like in the 50s music, which is cool. Sure. I didn't mind that stuff. Then my older brothers, I'd be in the back seat, they'd be cranking Nugent and Sabbath and all that. So that's what I did with my kid from day one. Is just it's simple stuff like AC/DC on. Yeah. Shit that it's simple to pick up the beat and stuff like that. Yeah. And then I got him in the more. Now his Slipknot's his favorite band. Yeah. But like all the Ozzy, like the simple Ozzy songs, the catchy songs, and he's a metal. He has no choice. That's all he's listened to growing up.
I remember when we talked a few years back, you gave me that advice when she was pregnant. Yeah. You were like, oh, yeah, Rammstein, something with the simple beat, with the fire and everything.
Something. Yeah.
Now he asks for a song.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, I got him into Ozzy, No More Tears.
That's a good one,
and Hate Breed, Destroy Everything.
Wow. Yeah.
He asked me, Mom, do you have that song?
Really? Destroy.
He likes to destroy shit. So,
right, okay,
and I started playing it, and it's a simple chorus, you know what I mean?
Everything.
So,
yeah. I gotta try. I wanted to play my to my son. I was thinking about Everybody Bleeds Now.
That's a good one.
Yeah. That's he loved. I mean, he loved the heavier stuff. He can't wait for Slipknot. Yeah. That's his favorite band.
Oh, you're gonna take him?
Oh yeah. He's already seen him twice.
Nice.
Yeah.
You must have gotten some great hookups with that metal show, right? Getting them maybe the side of the stage for some shows.
Sometimes we get. Well, I know Corey, so I don't know. It depends if I hit them up or whatever. But they're busy and shit, so I don't like to bother people. But
I understand.
Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. So. Sometimes I just like watching the show and stuff like that. If they're in their routine, and I don't want to break it, I'll just go say hi real quick. Usually if you got a kid, it helps because they're like, the kid's here. So.
I think I remember you had a bit where you were talking about, like, when I was on that metal show, we were front row, and then it's like, okay, the show's canceled. Yeah. We're in the fucking lawn,
we're on the lawn. Yeah, we're going to be on the lawn. I know, because I told, it was true, because they were hooking up like fifth row, third row, and like, all right, we're getting further and further back and all that shit. But
it's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, exactly. I like to support the bands too. I'm like, I'll buy a ticket. I know it's tough out there for them and shit.
I always do that. When I was in college, like I'd take a free ticket, but now it's like I see, everybody's downloading. You're only making your money on the road, so.
Or at least I'll buy a T-shirt. I'll always buy a shirt, even though it's like fucking $40. I'm like, all right, I
Yeah, when I saw Nashville Pussy, it was so good, and I barely had any money left. I was like, I gotta buy a piece of merch. Like,
yeah,
it was too fucking good.
Yeah, because that helps with their gas, their food, all that other stuff. So I always do that too.
And it goes directly to the band.
Goes right to the band.
Nobody's
yeah.
cutting into that.
Well,
for the most part.
in the club probably not, but like PNC, these big venues, they take 30%.
Yeah.
30% on a T-shirt, so that's why they sell it for 40. So that means they're only getting 28.
Yeah.
It probably costs them $6 for the shirt.
Yeah.
So there's a $22 margin. You know what I mean? So that's why they got to up them to 40 or 30. 40 usually, because they're taking 12 right off the top.
Yeah. Well, Jim, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, man. I really appreciate it. It was a great set tonight. Love your comedy. Check out his podcast, Everybody's Awful Except You.
Yeah.
Not Comedy Metal Midgets anymore.
Yeah, I just, because people, like, if they search for, because I originally thought I was going to interview metal guys. My first podcast, I had Rudy Sarzo on.
Oh, wow.
And then but I remember, like, I started just ranting about shit, and people had started picking up steam and getting a lot more downloads. I remember I had Metallica on, because I interviewed him for some radio special.
Oh, nice.
And people were like, oh, dude, come on, man, go back and rant. And I've had Judas Priest on what I did. And you get half the downloads.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like, you know what? I'd rather just, do the rant. That's what works.
Yeah.
So that's why with the metal midget, the metal in there, I'm like, it's really not a metal show.
Yeah.
You know
well,
what I mean?
That's still your show on Ozzy's Boneyard.
Yeah, on Ozzy's Boneyard,
right?
yeah. I do the metal show on there, but as far as the podcast, I don't want, people like, oh, no, I'd just rather just like that pretty much explains the podcast. Everybody is awful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wanted something simple, like everyone just explains exactly what it is.
I was one of the people that suggested Nobody Cares.
I like that one a lot.
I think Everybody's Awful, except, it's your book.
The only
covers a lot of
because
ground.
I'm thinking like the people listening to the podcast would get Nobody Cares, but Jim listen to Nobody Cares by Jim Florentine instead of like, well, what do you mean nobody cares? Why should I care?
Yeah.
But if you listen to the podcast, then it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I love Nobody Cares. So, right, that's one of my favorite things I say because I'm just like, it's true.
Yeah. I got to ask you about one more thing. That you got one of the irons in the fire is the reboot of Crank Yankers from Comedy Central. When can we expect some episodes? Have you recorded any crank calls yet?
Yeah, September 25th, new season starts. I already recorded the calls. I might do some more next week when I'm in LA, but 20 new episodes starting the end of September on Comedy Central. I think Wednesday nights at 10:30.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so I mean, who knew that the show's been off the air for 12 years and all of a sudden it comes back out of nowhere.
I know you were doing some club like near us, like Mount Arlington, and they had Jim Florentine from Crank Yankers. I was like, I think that credit is a little fucking dated.
Yeah, I know. You never know what they're going to do.
But now it's
I know, right now I can talk about it again, because at some point I'm like, people go, 3 years ago, how come you don't talk about Crank Yankers? I go, the show hasn't been on the air for 8 years.
Yeah.
I go, how long am I going to talk about it? But now I could start talking about it. Once it gets back on the air, I'll start talking about it more. Who knows? We'll see what happens. I mean, you never expect a show to come out of 12 years later to be back on the air. So
that's what people do now. They're like, okay, we need an idea. What worked 15 years ago?
Well, I think because especially with Viacom owns MTV, VH1, Comedy Central, all of that, and that metal show was on VH1. And Crank, they realized that they haven't had hits in a long time, and why don't you go back to the shows that actually worked?
Right.
Because they're just trying to come up with these new ideas all the time, and none of the shit is working. Yeah. So let's go back and bring an old classic back.
Why not?
So, hey, look, maybe they'll bring back that metal show on VH1. You never know.
Yeah.
At some point in fucking 3 or 4 years or something.
I saw your buddy has that Jameson show on the Cougar Network.
Yeah, exactly. Same logo and everything. It's great. Yeah, I've done a show a couple times. Yeah.
Does he mostly talk to rock guys on that?
Yeah, mostly lets rock music. He takes calls. I'll have guys Skype in and all that stuff. Yeah, so it's a rock show.
That's great.
Yeah, which is good. Like, so that's why my podcast, Eddie does his radio show, and he has a podcast, it's all music and stuff. Don does his music thing. Mine's more like comedy, rants and stuff like that. So
awesome. Well, everybody check out Jim Florentine. Everybody's Awful Except You. That's this podcast and Ozzy's Boneyard, and catch him Creeps with Kids.
Yeah,
right?
I'm touring with Rich Voss, Robert Kelly, and Ron Bennington. Creeps with Kids in the fall. Just 4 comics doing a bunch of theaters and stuff. So
I would love to see Brian. I'm hoping I can make one of the shows. I'm not sure if we can, but I feel like Ron Bennington is one of the funniest motherfuckers.
Bennington's great, man. He's the best interviewer out there. He's great on stage. He's a great comic. Just a great dude all around.
Does he do stand-up, though? I never heard him do stand-up.
He did it a long time ago, and he stopped, and he started doing it again like 3 years ago. And he's really good. I would work with him in New York all the time, and then we just said, let's do this tour. He's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
He's a great dude to be around. Just funny. Kills up there. People love him and stuff. So I'm excited, just to work with friends and tour with him and stuff. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Everybody check it out. And Jim, thanks so much for the time.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. Yeah.